Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of the online unprecedented program in Mauritania, the Friday Pulse. The Friday Pulse today tackles the propelling forces of development, education, the job market requirements, and opportunities. School and civil society are the fundamental elements by which intelligence and plurality can be achieved. The success of any society can only be obtained by extending voting rights and by ensuring that there exists a fully formed public opinion. These two factors can only be accomplished by effective communication among citizens, experts, and politicians, with the latter being accountable for the policies they adopt. What nutrition and reproduction are to the physiological life, education is to the social life. This education consists primarily in the transmission of good ideas through communication. Communication is a process of sharing experience till it becomes a common possession. In the light of these revelations, today with AMI members, we raise questions about the current system of education, the job market requirements, and the opportunities that are offered to the educated youth. The first intervention will be with Mohammed Yahya. What do we expect from the current system of education?
Thank you. That's a pertinent question that we are really in need to think of. Mauritanian educational system went through difficult stages since it was recently linked to identity. Mauritania is the land of cultural diversity that has positively shaped its history. I don't want to say that Arabic or French should be the official language. It's nonsense. The problem here is not a problem of language or specific ethnicity. In effect, multiculturalism is the center of Mauritanian life. And the same reality will continue with the next generations, whom we expect to be more open-minded and enlightened. I think that the national unity must be enforced to serve the different interests of the Mauritanian nation, and the field of education has to play the role. The current system of education in Mauritania is traditional, so it doesn't respond to the needs of the young generation. The curriculums are mostly outdated and don't take into consideration the national, cultural, and ethnic diversity. What does it mean in a nation of 3 million people to have a generation that speak only Arabic while another speak only French? So the two generations will misunderstand each other. What a future for such educational policies. Special sources in the Ministry of Education confirm that new reforms will be carried out next July. Hopefully, the upcoming reforms will bridge the social and cultural gaps between the different components of Mauritanian society, and then one common vision of the future will be reshaped. To make the long story short, we are really in desperate need for an effective approach of progressive education in the shade of such unprecedented era of globalization. Education is a long-term project to produce good citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wadoud, for this precious intervention. And now the question goes to Ali Sheikh. Ali Sheikh, how can the job market requirements be met?
Thank you very much. I think the right question and the most relevant question is there any market job in Mauritania? Is there any market job requirements in Mauritania? But anyway, it's undeniable fact that the job market requirements do not match to the curriculum in Mauritania. Mauritania in this case is not an exception from the rule, like many other African and third world countries where education is not meant to meet the necessary requirements of job market. Because job market is monopolized mostly and governed by some ignorant, greedy businessmen who do not pay attention to the required trainings and formations that can help into bridging up the huge gap between the expectations of the job market and syllabus taught and designed in the educational system. I think I think that the solution of this contradiction or the problem is through creating an intermediation or coordination between the job market employers or businessmen on the one hand and the Ministry of Education or universities on the other. This coordination will undoubtedly participate to improve the educational system in a country like Mauritania, in which many people, unfortunately, still look at education as wasting time profession or at the best an escape and shrinking from social responsibilities. All people are equal, but some are more equal than others, as George Orwell said. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your witty and precious intervention, Mr. Al-Sheikh, as usual. And now the question goes to Abdul Muttalib. What kind of opportunities are offered to the educated youth in Mauritania?
Good, very pertinent question. To be frank is to say that there are no opportunities offered to the educated youth, as the case in most countries that practice the principle of the right person in the right position. But this does not mean that there are no opportunities. According to my own experience, there are two kinds of opportunities here in our beloved Mauritania. The local opportunities, as well as the ones offered by the foreign organizations and embassies, especially the American Embassy. The local ones are mainly offered to incompetent people on a specific criterion that have always been as clear as mud. The second kind of opportunities are offered to the educated youth by foreign countries in the form of trainings and scholarships. Humphrey and Fulbright fellowship programs are good examples on these opportunities. We all know that the fairness and the transparency of the procedures and requirements of the process of selecting the qualified people who meet the conditions of these opportunities. In other words, the opportunities are there, but gaining access to them depends on the nature of the opportunity offered and the means and ways of the provider. What we are witnessing nowadays in Mauritania reminds me of what the Nigerian novelist Achebe once said: "It doesn't matter what you know, it only matters who you know." Thank you.
Thank you very much, Muntali, for your nice presentation. Dear AMI members, online audience, we really wish you good luck. And until another Friday Pulse, we wish you good luck. This is Mohammed Bouel Bamba. See you next week.